Hello, and welcome to Wednesday, the Day of Wens. Now, yesterday I mentioned that I wanted to talk about something that kind of happened yesterday, but also kind of took place over the past few months, few weeks, few months, and that would be Sailor Moon. I finished watching season 1 of Sailor Moon yesterday, and that is a wonderful show. It's very cheesy, it's very 90s, it's very repetitive. But I could see why it's very, very much beloved. Sailor Moon, for those who don't know, is a wildly popular, I guess, piece of media. Uh, People really love it, and while I've known that it's permeated pop culture to a unfathomable uh, degree, I personally have never seen this show. I've caught glimpses of it. I think the most I've ever seen was when I was at Toy Pizza Con a couple years back, and they were just playing it on a TV in the bar that we were hanging out in. And while that was all fine and dandy, it's just like I did not. I don't think I've ever seen a full episode. Of course, I've seen like the magical girl transformations, and I've seen some memes of tuxedo mask and everything. You know, my work here is done, but you haven't done anything. Goodbye. Uh, I don't think I've ever really seen a full episode, so I made it a point to start watching the show, and I slowly started working my way uh, through it. More so these past couple of weeks, but yeah, as soon as I kind of really got into it, I just like started plowing through. Like I said, it's a very repetitive show, very monster of the week kind of thing, and while there is an overarching plot, and every episode kind of works towards that, um, it it is very 90s, right? Very 90s monster of the week. Again, very repetitive, where I think like the first 3 minutes of the show are dedicated to the opening theme and opening credits, along with a like episode recap kind of thing almost, and then the final like minute of the show was like, um, it just like, hey, here's what's happening next time. There's also a good span of X amount of time spent on magical girl transformations, as well as what am I saying? Well, yeah, just like all of that just like makes kind of very repetitive, right? The same thing happens over and over again, and while there's slight variations, you know, different monster of the week kind of thing, it's once again very repetitive. But it doesn't lack charm. I find myself getting drawn into these characters because, again, the show is very funny. The main character Usagi, who is Sailor Moon, uh, is I think in the first few episodes, like the opening intro says, she's a 14-year-old crybaby who loves to eat and like sleep and whatever. Uh, but it's just like the situations that they get themselves into is very kind of funny to me, at least. The art style is wonderful. You know, you get that soft kind of 90s anime kind of vibe, and you can definitely tell in the later half of the season where some shots are reused, especially when Sailor Moon says, "I'll punish you." Like when she does that, you can definitely tell like some of those are spliced in. At least the version I was watching. Um, Obviously, I watched the subbed version, and I was told that this is the correct way to watch it. So, I I have been exposed to some dubisms, uh, and it's funny. Other than that, yeah, I can't really. How do I go into this too much? You know, the show follows Sailor Moon and her adventure trying to defeat Dark Kingdom. On the way, we discover the other five Sailor Guardians. Is Guardians a term or Sailor Scout? I've always heard Sailor Scout, but in the show it's Sailor Guardian. Um, Either way, it follows the events of these five girls' lives and their quest to defeat Dark Kingdom, who just keeps kind of getting in the way. Over the course of the show, they fall in love. We meet other significant characters. We meet Tuxedo Mask. We learn who Tuxedo Mask is and how he's important to the overarching plot. And then it just gets just more and more insane, like just more and more ridiculous, and natural escalation. But it's just kind of crazy what happens. At least in the first season. I still have 4 other seasons to go, and while I'm excited to do that, it's gonna take me a bit of time to work through it. But yeah, it's a genuinely very good show. I could see why it's so beloved, and I've been enjoying my time with it. it's it was either a toss up between this and probably like trying to watch Dragon Ball Z fully for the first time, and I know both of those kind of aired around the same time. Like at least when people were kids back in the '90s, it was like Sailor Moon and then Dragon Ball Z. So people would catch both, and I guess that's why it's kind of just like gotten so big in the U.S. Right? You have 2 powerhouse anime that just aired back to back, and it's a really cool kind of thing. So it's I definitely really like the show, and I can't wait to see where Sailor Moon R takes me, because I think I got like halfway through episode 1 before I just like got busy. So it's interesting, and we'll just see where it takes off. Actually, no, I did finish episode 1, but yeah, we'll see where it takes us. And with that, I think I'm gonna call it here for today. So thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow, and until then,